Hello and welcome back. I'm so happy to be back with all of you. You guys, recently, so many of you have been trying our recipes and sharing them and reposting them. I love it so much. Thank you. Please continue to do that. Also, if you guys could help me grow Taylor's Table, I would so love that. If you guys could just share with your family and friends my YouTube channel, it's linked in my bio, like, subscribe, all of the things, I would so appreciate it. But now it's time to get to today's recipe. Today's recipe has a couple firsts. It's my first Crockpot recipe I'm sharing, and it's the first recipe from my mom that I'm sharing with all of you. Today, we are making a beef roast in the Crockpot. So here's what you'll need. Some baby potatoes, yellow, red, purple, whatever you like, a beef chuck roast, olive oil spray, California chili powder, garlic salt, granulated garlic, and black pepper. We are going to start by preparing our meats. We are going to have to get a little dirty to prepare our meat, but trust me, it's totally worth it. Also, I don't have measurements for this recipe, but it's really easy to figure out. All you have to do is cover your meat in olive oil. I think it's really important that you rub in the olive oil also after you spread it. And then we're gonna cover it in our seasoning. So I like to start with garlic powder. You can be really generous. This type of meat can hold a lot of seasonings. California chili powder. And black pepper. This step is not necessary, but if you have olive oil spray, I like to spray it on top of the seasonings to kind of just lock them in there. And then we just flip it over and do the same thing on the other side. Now that our meat is all seasoned up, it's time to head over to the stove. I have some oil heating over about medium-high heat, and we wanna make sure it's really hot before we put our meat in. All we're going to do is sear our meat before we put it into the crock pot. We want our meat to have a really crispy edge to it. Okay, I think it's time to flip our meat. This always takes quite a bit of skill, and I'm not very good at it. Okay, our meat is just about ready. I like to bring my crock pot pan close to this pan just as to not make a huge mess. A lot of our seasonings fell into the oil in our pan, so I like to very carefully pour a little bit of the oil just right over the meat. And I also like to add about 1.5 to 2 cups of water. I want the meat about halfway submerged in liquid. All right, it's time to head over to our crock pot. This is where our garlic salt comes in. Just give it a quick shake over the meat. We're gonna let this cook on high for about 7 hours, and when there's 1 hour left in cook time, that's when we will deal with our potatoes. We have about 1.5 hours left until our pot roast is done, and our house smells absolutely amazing, but it's time to deal with the potatoes. So I just cut them in fours. They're about this size. And then I'm just gonna sprinkle them with some garlic salt and stir it. The potatoes are going to cook in the liquid that the meat is cooking in. When you put the potatoes in the crock pot, be super careful because they will splatter and the liquid is really hot. So the potatoes are in the crock pot, and I like to kind of use this time to break the meat apart because it's already been cooking long enough where you can break it apart, and make sure that most of the potatoes are pretty much submerged in the liquid. And then this is cooking for 1 more hour. All right, our roast is ready to be served. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. I can already see the meat is just completely breaking apart. Oh, yummy. The potatoes are cooked perfectly. Seriously, you guys, this is one of our all-time favorite recipes. Mom, thank you so much for sharing. If you guys are looking for a dinner recipe that's very simple but incredibly delicious, please give this one a try. I will see you next time.